Every time I start going down an automotive rabbit hole, I come across a vehicle that I absolutely fall in love with just to find out that I cannot have it in supposedly the freest country in the entire world. I'm talking about the 70 Series Land Cruiser and why we need one in the United States of America. The legendary, unkillable, bulletproof brick of a vehicle that Toyota has been pumping out since the mid-80s. Yeah, it's banned. Forbidden fruit. Can't do it. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 or a new Toyota Land Cruiser. So why is this mechanical marvel not gracing our suburban driveways and desert trails? Well, it's a multi-layered pile of government, nonsense, and BS, much like trying to figure out your uncle's tax returns. First up, you got the chicken tax. Yep, you heard me right, because back in the 60s, France and West Germany put tariffs on American chicken. So we retaliated by putting 25% tariff on imported light trucks. And guess what? The 70 Series and many of its most desirable forms, like the single cab or double cab pickup, gets smacked with that ridiculous tax. Add that 25% to the price and suddenly it's not financially viable for Toyota to sell them here. They can make more money selling you a glorified minivan with all-wheel drive. And this is partly responsible because of the chicken tax. And we created a full video on the chicken tax, what it is, that you could check out in the comments below, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna keep on moving forward. Then there's the emissions and safety standards. And look, the 70 Series is built like a tank from the 80s. It's not exactly winning any awards for its carbon footprint or its crumple zones. It's designed to be simple, reliable, and fixable in the middle of nowhere, not to meet California's ever-changing, hyper-specific environmental regulations or crash test dummy demands, which I'm not upset or confused by or just completely baffled by every time they come out with a new one. It's got airbags now, yeah, it's not plush, it doesn't have leather seats or anything really cool like that. It's not a rolling living room like the new 300 series. It's a tool, and tools apparently don't meet our fancy standards. So if you want a brand spanking new 70 Series, you gotta go abroad. Where? Well, all of our favorite countries, of course, for off-roading. Australia, this is ground zero for the 70 Series warship. They love them down there. They use them for everything from mining to farming and just surviving in the damn outback where everything is trying to kill you. Africa, the Middle East, and parts of Asia and South America. Pretty much anywhere where you need a vehicle that can absolutely not fail when things go south, you'll find a 70 Series. These places don't care about your fancy touchscreens. They care about getting the job done and getting home alive. And of course, Japan recently. They actually brought it back to Japan for a limited run, which just adds insult to injury for us Yanks. I mean, you may be thinking a Toyota not available in Japan, where they have different standards and other things too that could be a little bit confusing. It's an international company, what do you expect? So how does an Australian 70 Series compare to a Land Cruiser in the United States? Now don't get me wrong, the new Land Cruiser 300 Series, which we finally got back and rebranded as just the Land Cruiser here, which is just confusing as hell, just simplify it. US version, maybe call it something different. It's a very capable vehicle. It's luxurious, it's got all the tech, it's probably got more cup holders than the entire 70 Series cabin, but that's where the differences lie. The 300 Series is a modern SUV. Independent front suspension, plush interior, quiet ride, all the bells and whistles. It's designed for comfort and capability. Kind of like a super fancy hunting rifle that you can take to go shoot squirrels in the backyard. That makes sense, right?
Huh? What?
The 70 Series, that's a damn sledgehammer. It's got solid front axles, or at least solid front with coils on some of the newer models, but still super heavy duty. It's got a basic utilitarian interior built to withstand anything from mud pits to a nuclear holocaust. It's got a body-on-frame construction that's simpler, stronger, and easier to repair when you're 500 miles from the nearest paved road. This isn't for going to Starbucks. This is for getting into places where Starbucks has never dreamed of existing. So why is the 70 Series better? Well, I mean, better is obviously subjective. Like deciding if a cheap beer is better than no beer. It's always cheap beer is better. But if you're talking about a pure, unadulterated, no BS workhorse, an off-road machine, the 70 Series is in a league of its own. These things are legendary. They run on anything, take a beating, and just keep on going. It's like the cockroach of the automotive world, but in a good way. There's fewer electronic nannies, fewer complicated sensors, fewer things to break when you're bouncing over rocks in the middle of nowhere. It's easier to fix and diagnose with basic tools. It's like the 4x4 that Americans have always dreamed of owning, but just have never been able to. These things are also built to haul and tow heavy loads comparative to the size of the vehicle over rough terrain. It's a real truck. It's not a glorified car with a tall ride height. With the solid front axles and massive articulation, you have a really robust drivetrain. It's designed to climb, crawl, and conquer, and our new Land Cruiser, while capable, is still hampered by its comfort-oriented design, turbo 4-cylinder, which a lot of controversy about that, and independent front suspension. So I know you're asking yourself, this amazing, incredible 4x4 vehicle has to cost way more than the US model. Well, that's unfortunately where you're wrong. Makes you heart hurt even just a little bit more. In Australia, we're talking about 76,000 Australian dollars to 80,000 depending on the trim, which is roughly 51,000 to 54,000 US dollars.
Shut up and take my money.
For a basic no frills work truck, which honestly sounds like a steal for something that will outlive you and your grandkids, and especially considering some of the prices that dealers are charging for a new Land Cruiser around here. So when you compare that to a new US Land Cruiser, which starts around $56,000 and goes up to $74,000 for the first edition, these different beasts have way different prices. But you can see why Toyota isn't eager to deal with the chicken tax on the 70 series. Imagine having to upgrade all the bells and whistles on the 70 series to, conform to the US market. I think what would happen is if it got over here, the off-road enthusiasts would absolutely love it, and actual people who just want a Land Cruiser and the moms and the minivan moms who want to go to soccer practice or something cool, they're like, there's no electric windows, I gotta lock it manually. What is this locking differential? My tires won't spin. All those things are things that they probably just don't want to deal with, which I kind of understand, but at the same time, just bring a couple over. Just come. Yes, please. One of the biggest differences, and the one thing that really bugs me, is the powertrain differences on the 70 versus the 300. Now, this thing is not a speed demon, but it can pull a freaking house down. That paired with a manual 5-speed transmission means that you could actually turn this thing into an absolute off-road legend. The fact that we can have mid-size SUVs with a diesel engine just absolutely blows my mind in this country. Better fuel efficiency, better torque, better towing, all of those things. The 4-cylinder gas engines with the turbo, mark my words, are not gonna last over 150 to 200,000 miles like the V8 engines of the past. So kudos to Australians and everyone else who gets this powertrain and the diesel option, because I'm extremely jealous. And new to 2025, you also have the optional 2.8 liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel. This was recently introduced, and it's the same engine found in some of the newer Hiluxes and Prados. It's more fuel efficient, puts out a surprising amount of torque, and it's generally paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. For me, if I was to actually get one, V8 all the way. You never know what you need to tell. End of the day, more power is better. It's just facts and science.
Darn right, more power.
All right, so there you have it. The forbidden fruit that is the 70 series Land Cruiser may not be on our shores, but of course, if you travel abroad, make sure to rent one and check it out and leave me a comment on how you like it. Australians and foreigners, make sure to chime into those comments and let everyone know how much you love it and how it's so stupid that we can't have it in the US of A, because we love being told that we can't have something. And maybe one day our government officials will do something to change it. Till then, enjoy the roads out there in your 70 series. I'll be watching on YouTube and just drooling and not jealous at all. Subscribe if you want or don't. I like talking smack about cars that we can have. Thanks for watching.